Okay, I have to move positions because I don't have enough space to work on the ottoman where my workbench is. So I'm just gonna have to move. Now this is gonna be hard because everything's a mess. My apartment is disgusting. Please don't knock this down, baby boy. Not that much, right? Not that much. Is that enough? Let's see. Okay. Mostly you see. Let's see if we can find something better. Meow. Meow. How you doing, baby? Let's turn off this light. Let's grab our glasses. Hey-ya. And let's turn on this light. Okay. Now where the hell do I put this thing? If I do it over there, will that work? Just move my switch, maybe? Ooh, this might be good, because then I should be able to plug in to charge while I'm doing this. Let's see. Let us see. Let's see, how does that look? Pretty good, I think. Alright. Now I need to set up a charging cable. Oh, excuse me. I don't know if this one has a USB-C plug on it. Let's check and see. It looks like it does, but I currently have. Oh, don't fall! Ooh, I almost knocked my whole TV off. Oh, come on. Okay. Step one done. Hey, baby boy. Hey, baby boy. How's my little Mr. Blister doing? How's the Mr. Blister? Are we charging now? I think we're charging now. Perfect. Now I need to gently put this in here so I don't kill. Why is this thing being... Oh, that's why. Okay. We'll move it over here then. Same thing with this. Okay, come on, baby. Well, that wasn't good. What fell? I don't know. Well, that's good enough. Oh, what's this thing? Oh, you want to play with it? You can play with it. You can play with it, baby. Alright, let's get some music going. We have to keep it quiet, though. Oh, man, it's such a mess. It is on. Ba, 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 ba. Hi, my love. Hi. Let's see. We need to go to YouTube. BoobTube. Play some music.
Will customize my car insurance, so I only pay for what I need. What a great day.
Is that like super duper loud? I wish I could read comments on here. I can't read comments though. I don't know why. Oh wait. Can I read comments? Okay, yeah. Is that gonna show up? Well, I hope that the chat will show up if you guys actually chat. I probably won't be able to see it, but I hope that the volume's not too loud on the television. Let's turn it down to 10. That seems okay. Alright, let's start our therapy session. We're going to talk it out again. Hi, beautiful. We need to make more mess here. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Yeah, that'll work. Or do I want it to be higher? I'm not sure. Oh well, I don't really care. Y'all can see, y'all can see. So, today I started a new project. I watched on, I don't know, YouTube, Instagram, something. I watched a lady make an ottoman, and I was really impressed by it. And so I decided I'd try it myself. And I did pretty good at first, right? Like I got the main form down. And if you look, like when I did this side and I sealed it, like it looks real nice here. Fudge, man, my lighting is just terrible. Yep, would be. I don't know if you can see it. There's actually a folded line right here. And I made it look so nice. But then, because of the curvature of the pillow, when I did the sides, I had some kind of bunching. This side's the worst. Ugh. See, I had some really bad bunching here. So my line's not exactly straight on the sides, but again, on the ends, looks like it did it professional, right? So that's what we're working on today. My crazy ottoman. And while we're doing that, I'll explain to you how I made this. So it's kind of cool. Like, I really like recycling things. I feel like trash is the biggest travesty in our world. I feel like there's way too much waste, right? And so I try to reuse things as much as possible. All of this wood that I used, it used to be part of like a pallet. And there was nails everywhere on the plywood. And then this is actually plywood that's been cut down and used. But I just measured it out and reused it. So this is all old material. And same thing with all of this, except for what's on top here, and then like, I don't know, is it batting? This is like batting. So other than this that you see and the batting underneath, everything else was reused too. So the padding under here it's actually an old body pillow of mine that it started to get really lumpy and ununiform, and it squished kind of down a little bit. So I was like, I didn't like using it as much. So I was like, why don't I figure out a way to reuse it? And it just so happened that I already had this piece of plywood cut at exactly 4 feet by 1 foot, and this body pillow 4 foot by 1 foot. The only problem is because it shrunk, the edges, I don't know if you can tell, it doesn't come all the way out. I've got about 2 inches without padding on the edges here, but on this side it's full up. So, yeah. So today, I mean, I did this already today before I went to work, but what I need to do now is I need to fix the sides, which I'm going to use this live edge wood that I got from my brother-in-law, Andy. Thank you very much for that. It's beautiful. And so I'm going to be cutting these down. I've got lots of bark on this one. I'm going to be cutting these down and using these to cover up my mistakes on the side and on the edge, front and back. Ooh, I'm going to have to strip this real good. Maybe I'll do that after I attach it. But, so the idea is, I'm going to take this wood and I'm going to come right up almost, I'm going to try and cover this line, the line of fabric here. I want to bring it all the way up like so that you can't see it, and then this edge right here, I'm going to try and figure out a way to kind of roll over some fabric. So I think I'll take some of my white fabric, which I'll show you that, or I guess I could use these strips too, maybe. No, these are too short. So I've got this white fabric. This is actually waterproof, and I would have used this for the top. The problem with it is that it would get so dirty, right? If it's what we're putting our feet on, it would just be absolutely dirty. So, I mean, you can already see I've got some black marks on it. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here. I'm going to draw myself a nice pretty line for where this wood sits. I'm going to try to make sure I've got everything covered up. Yeah, then I've got the wood barrier here from the plywood. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an edge, a little bead, kind of like what I've done on the other ones. And then I'm going to extend it down a few inches so that beyond the live wood, the live edge, you have kind of that flap that some ottomans have where it like covers up part of the thing. So that's the plan. But, and then I got to attach the feet and things. Hopefully I can get everything squared away tonight, because I've got work early in the morning. I'm working a double tomorrow, so it's going to be kind of crazy. Now I need to rinse my hands because they're covered in cheese. Hi, baby. Oh, you need food, huh? You need food, my love. Come here, baby. Come here. I didn't know Daddy was such a negligent daddy. There you go, my love. There you go, my love. You're here. Rinse my hands. Okay. All right, Justin. Let's lock in, baby. Mr. Rex, how you doing, Bubba? You enjoying that meal? Perfect. So while I'm doing this, I'm just going to talk through stuff. I have a lot of things on my mind and I don't really get to express it except for by myself. And because when I talk to other people, I don't say this to be elitist in any way, but most other people aren't even close to my level. That's not ignorance or arrogance. It's not pride. It's just a reality of the world, the way that it is right now for me and anyone who I'm associated with. And so today I'm going to talk through an experience that I had with my brother-in-law, Andy, the one who gave me this live wood. We were hanging out at my brother's house at Christmas, and we were just trying to have a good time. You know, everyone was, I guess you could call it partying, but we were just drinking and smoking and hanging out, having a good time. And then my brother-in-law really wanted to talk to me about an issue that I had with my stepbrother. And I told him so many times before he actually jumped into the conversation that I didn't want to talk about my stepbrother. I didn't want to talk about the issue because I knew that there's no way that he would understand my point of view on the topic. And the only thing that he would be doing is running around in a circle, trying to explain to me something that is only half true. So basically what it was, my stepbrother, he's pretty young. I think he's like 19 now. And I used to live with him. And he, I don't know, made some choices, said some things, did some things that really hurt my feelings. And my brother-in-law was defending him and trying to say that the way that I get over it is by giving him grace. And I tried to explain to him that I know that and I appreciate that, but that's only the first step, right? It technically is the second step to get through complete healing. Where is? I just had my pen. Anyway, so I knew that he wasn't going to be accurate on what he was saying about my stepbrother and the way that I need to treat the situation. And so I was just like, please, I don't want to talk about this. This is going to go bad. I really, really don't want to. And he tried starting the conversation like 3 times, and every time I was like, no, I can't. Like, trust me. Because I knew that he wouldn't understand the healing process that I was going through. And so he was like trying to explain something while talking about my stepbrother. He was trying to explain that at that age, that, 18, 19, 20, that boys feel like they know everything. They've got this bravado and that really we just need to give them grace because they haven't experienced enough life to be able to make good decisions, to be able to represent themselves in a proper way. And I tried very hard to explain to him that that's actually a maladaptive practice, right? So if you've got a nearly 20-year-old boy or man that seems like he thinks he knows everything, chances are that's not the case. It's not average because throughout human history, by the time you're 20 years old, you're most of the way through your life. Through human history, like, it was 30 years old and you were dead, right? Like, only fairly recently have we gotten to the point where medicine is keeping us alive and giving us a longer life expectancy and things like that. And so for a boy that was 20, they didn't know everything, and they knew that. And so, actually, the way that it works is a 20-year-old man doesn't think he knows everything, but he wants the chance to try. So when he's neglected by other people, when, say my brother-in-law, when he's seeing one of these boys acting like they know everything, he's misinterpreting it when in reality that boy is just wanting to make sure that what he does know is accurate. He wants to prove his worth because now he's a part of society, if you will. Now he has to contribute. And so it's not a matter of knowing everything. It's a matter of showing what you know and doing things to learn and grow and progress. And so if somebody is exhibiting those types of symptoms, know-it-all symptoms, it's a maladaptive thing. So I tried to explain that to him. And obviously he was drunk, I was drunk, and so it was impossible to be able to get that through to him. And so after a while of us talking, I finally realized that there's just no way that he was going to understand that because he's not on the same level that I am. And so I was trying to explain it to him, and he was just getting frustrated because he kept saying, I'm trying to teach you something, I'm trying to teach you something, you need to give grace. And I'm like, that's not the way it works, okay? There are two ends of the extreme, right? The first end is if someone does something to you that affects you greatly, your interpretation of that situation is your interpretation of that situation. So you can choose to be offended, you can choose to be angry, you can choose anything you want. And so if you live in that anger, that state of resentment towards the person or situation that made you uncomfortable, then it's like being injected with a venom, right? Venom is when something punctures your skin and enters into your bloodstream immediately, and it starts having effects. Whereas, so if you're living in that anger and frustration, really all you're doing is you're just self-imposing this toxin into your body, and it'll kill you eventually. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, the next extreme, hi baby boy, the next extreme is instead of having resentment, you give grace. But if that's all you do, if you just give infinite grace to people, eventually what will happen is it's like a poison. And the difference between a toxin and a poison is a toxin is directly injected immediately into your bloodstream and starts acting. A poison is a slow burn. Over time, you're exposed more and more to it, so the effects initially aren't registered to you, but then as you continue to give grace, it'll poison and poison and poison you. And the reason why that is because the real way to heal, the absolutely real way to heal is not with anger, it's not with grace, it's with acceptance. Because that situation that happens, regardless of what it is, if it hurts you or whatever, that situation, oh man, I was already at the end. The way that you interpret that situation is your own interpretation. And really it has no meaning whatsoever. What happened, happened. We assign the meaning to what happened. So in this case, I was trying to explain to him, and he's like, I'm trying to teach you something. And I was like, motherfucker. I didn't say that, but I'm thinking, motherfucker, you're not teaching me anything. You're actually only giving a quarter of the equation. And that's not fair for him. And so in this situation, I could have been offended. And to a certain degree I was, because it got to the point where I was trying to explain it. I was trying to give him examples in like Buddhism and Hindu and all of these other things. And he started getting mad. And he's like, how do you know? How do you know? Like, how do you know that what you're saying is true in comparison to what I'm saying? And And I was just like, dude, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Like, I realized that I crossed a boundary. I realized that I spoke too much, and I'm sorry, right? And he was like, no, I'm not going to let it go, blah, blah, blah. And so he's like, how do you know? And I was like, because I went to doctoral school. As an occupational therapist, I've spent years studying the brain. Let me show you. This is my bookshelf. This is my bookshelf. These are the books that I have on my shelf, okay? Health, anatomy, kinesiology, human development and performance through the lifespan. I fucking know what I'm talking about. So I got pissed. I was like, he's like, how do you know? And I'm like, because I went to fucking doctoral school. And then what did he do? He got offended by the fact that I said that I had gone to doctoral school. You think you're better than us, blah, blah, blah. Fucking no. I don't think I'm better than you. But I do know I'm further along the path than what you are. And so in that moment, he was frustrated, I was frustrated, and I was like, okay, I've got to fix this because he's not going to. So I let go of my pride. I let go of trying to teach him the rest of the equation that he was missing. And I just listened to him. And it was really hard for me because while he was speaking, I heard the trauma from his life. And I felt it, right? And so his reaction to what was going on had nothing to do with me. It had everything to do with the way that he was raised and the life that he's lived and the traumas he's experienced. And so I just sat there and I listened and I felt everything that he said and I responded and I diffused the situation as much as I could. And that took a lot of effort on my part because for him to get so offended at that moment, it hurt my feelings at first because there was no disrespect in what I was trying to do or say. I wasn't trying to tell him he was wrong. I was just trying to tell him, hey, you're missing pieces. This isn't the whole story. And he didn't like hearing that. And it's interesting because in that moment, and throughout my life, I've had the same problem where I'll try and share things with people, what I've discovered, and I try to be true and honest. I really try to expose people to the reality of our existence. And so for him to get offended and be like, oh, you think you're better than me because you went to doctoral school, it's like the reality of the situation is for me to try and correct him does not make me a nice guy, but it does make me a good man because I respect him enough not to let him continue to live in an extreme that will eventually poison him. But he doesn't know that. All he is able to see is from his perception of how it made him feel, how my words, thoughts, actions, whatever, reflected upon his emotions and feelings. So he decided to place the meaning in that interaction. And I tried to let there not be any meaning. Just have it be a good conversation. Hey man, I'm so glad that you know that grace is important, but can I teach you the next step? Can I share with you what I know so that you can live greater, better? It's not me being better. It's me wanting so bad for you to be able to see and perceive things the way that I do. Again, not that it's better, but the truth is helpful. What I say, the way that I do things, it's helpful. And people will argue and be like, well, you're not perfect. You've got more issues and problems than most people. And I don't deny that. My life is pretty fucked up. It's hard living with all the disabilities that I've got. You know, and I don't know if you guys know, I haven't really told many people, but while I was in occupational therapy doctoral school, I obviously studied a lot of mental conditions like autism, ADHD, PTSD, all of that stuff, depression, anxiety. And in learning those things, I learned that I have a lot of them. I'm autistic, I have ADHD, I have major depressive disorder, I have general anxiety disorder, I have PTSD and complex trauma, complex PTSD. My life will never be normal. I will never be like other people. It is impossible. But that's what's so cool about the way that I perceive the world and interpret it. It's not right, because there is no right, there is no wrong. There is no good, there is no bad, there's no good, there's no evil. We assign meaning to all of those things. The universe is neutral, ultimately, right? It doesn't care about us. And if you were to zoom out from our planet and see where we are within the galaxy, we're freaking nothing. We're nothing. But for a person like me, I can see that nothing, and I have two choices. I can resist it. I can say that it's not real, not true. Or I can search deeper. That's what I chose to do. I know that the universe and the world and what happens, I can only view it through my own perspective. I understand. And I don't mind that being the reality. I just wish that other people knew that. That they knew that the way that they interpret and perceive the universe is not right or wrong. It's their view. And they'll experience the world exactly the way that they need to. Right? I believe that the universe is seeking for the lowest state of energy, tranquility. It's looking for peace. Ultimately, it just wants everything to be calm. And we know that because of the laws of entropy and entropy. And so, for us or anyone to presume that we're smart enough to know what's going on, to know anything really, is absolutely ridiculous. I had my brother during the same time, Christmas. No, it was before that. But my brother, he was like, I'm so amazed by you and the way that your mind works. Like, you are so smart. And I responded to him in a way that he wasn't expecting. I was like, I'm not smart at all. I haven't done anything to show true intelligence in my life. The only thing that I've really done is I've connected with the past, with my ancestors. I've communed with the genetics inside of me that make me who I am. So I haven't learned anything. I haven't taught anything. All I've done is tuned my mind into the reality that's already been discovered, right, by the genetic ancestors that I carry inside of myself. And he was like, I'm gonna have to think about that for a bit. And the reason why I say that is because even if you discover something, have you really discovered it? Or are you finally just in tune enough to understand and interpret something that has remained in darkness for other people. Now, once I've done that, if I discover something, or rediscover is what I should say, if I'm able to tune my mind to be able to interpret certain realities without being overwhelmed by them, then I'm smart. Then I've learned something. Then I have something to teach. But right now, I'm nothing. My education's nothing. Right? For all the neuroscience and everything that I've gone through, it's absolutely irrelevant, ultimately. Right? Like, someone's already learned that stuff. I'm just tuning into it. Someone else has interpreted, discovered, and is able to share that. Once I am able to interpret, discover, and share something that no one else has, then I'm intelligent. That's when I'm smart. That's when you can give me credit for being me. But right now, I shouldn't get any credit, in my opinion, because I'm just living the life that my genetic ancestors experienced, right? And I'm interpreting the world through their lens at this point. Of course, my experiences are different time, everything about it's different, but I'm still just walking in their footsteps. My ancestors have been through one or more have been through exactly what I've been through at one point or another. And so how can I say that I'm intelligent and smart when I'm just doing the same thing that's already been done? Maybe you don't agree with that. Maybe you think that intelligence is independent somehow. But at this point, it's just a culmination of what's inside of me. Now, you might wonder why I say that, the genetic ancestors. The reason why I say that is because, of course, there is markers and remnants of every one of my ancestors all the way back to the first true Homo sapien human, right? But I also carry traces of other things, like they believe that every person on Earth has about 2% of Neanderthal in them. And they've discovered, or have been able to interpret, that within our genetic code, there are these traces of our past, of lives that were lived by others before us. But our direct genetic representation to the world, the way that we interpret things, the traumas that we are susceptible to, well, those come from our ancestors as well, right? And we carry that trauma within our genetic code. We carry those issues of our ancestors back at least 10 generations, science has discovered. So can you imagine going back 10 generations of grandparents, great grandparents? At what age, day and time, what traumas they went through? We carry all of that. 10 generations. That's grandma and grandpa on mom's side, dad's side. So it starts out as mom and dad, 2, then it doubles, then more, then more, then more. So you carry 10 generations. So something like, I don't know, let's figure it out. Well, it'll be an exponential, so it might be difficult for me to actually calculate, but I'll do my best. So generations. 2 raised to the power 10. You get 1,024. You carry the genetic remnants of 1,000 of your ancestors. 1,000 lives lived reside inside of each of us. Isn't that wild? So how can I say I think I'm better than somebody when the reality of the situation is that we don't really even know who we are until we've conversed and faced each and every one of those 1,000 lives that have been lived within us. And you may not agree with that, but that's what I believe. That those lives are lived within us throughout our lifetime, 1,000 different ones. So in order to properly interpret who you are, before you can move forward and create your own self, you truly need to commune with each and every one of those ancestors, the 1,000 plus. You have to connect with them, maybe not learn their name, but understand what inside you is represented by the life that they live. So for me, right, I'm kind of crazy anyways, I know that. For me, I think of it, and this is a fairly recent idea, my mind is kind of just like an auditorium, right? A lecture hall, if you will. Am I doing that straight? No, I'm not. Let's try that again. I'm right on that dead one spot, that's fine. Anyways, my mind, my body is like a auditorium. And inside of the auditorium, for the longest time, I thought that I was the only one there, right? Like me in the present moment is on stage. And then the audience, I thought, were previous versions of myself. Because I've made some really big evolutions throughout life, as I'm sure you have too. And so those evolutions, those different time frames of who I was, the traumas that I felt, the depression, everything, all the connections, I thought that those were my only observers. And I would turn to them for advice. Sometimes I'd get bad advice, sometimes I'd get good advice. But as I've gotten older and as I've experienced more of life, I have a different viewpoint of my auditorium now. My former selves are absolutely there, and they are very responsive. For every action that I take, they have comments, they have information to offer. But in this metaphorical example, that's only like maybe a dozen seats filled in the auditorium. And the way that I think of it is a dark auditorium, and I can't see anything, but there's tons and tons of chairs, seats for people. And I thought, oh, they're empty because it's black and it's dark. And the only reason why I know that my former selves, former iterations of myself are there is because there's like a spotlight that shines on each and every one of those different personalities. And they were scattered across this auditorium, however many it is, 10, a dozen, I'm not sure. And I thought the rest of the seats were empty, and that they would be filled, in this metaphorical sense, just by myself, making decisions and alterations to my life and things like that. However, as I've gotten older, I've realized those seats are already full. There's a few that are empty, waiting for me to fill them. But my ancestors sit in those seats. And before, I couldn't hear them. I couldn't understand them because I hadn't connected with them. I was trying to be my own person. And now I realize that they're there. They can offer advice and suggestions. They have the ability to teach me things that I would not be able to learn otherwise. And again, that's me. Ooh, there we go. Again, that's me being selfish and prideful and believing that the universe is only interpretable through my experiences, through what's happened to me. But I'm missing 99% of the story, right? If all I focus on is my experiences, if I reject the things inside of me that make me who I am, my ancestors and the lives that they lived, that's who I am. If I reject that, then I'm missing out. I am rejecting myself because they are me. I am them. And that's what's interesting to me, is that I am them and they are me. Which means, in my opinion, there was never a time where we weren't connected. You might think spiritually or whatever, but if the reality of the situation is, I at some point had to observe an ancestor or all of my ancestors in order to understand and interpret the universe and know that the life that I was going to live here on earth would not be the same as theirs, but there would be echoes of similarity, right? And they say that history repeats itself, and I don't believe that it does, but history definitely echoes itself. It's not set in stone, but you'll follow a path automatically if you don't make your own. If you don't discover and connect with that ancient historical side of yourself, if you don't connect with your ancestors, you're just rejecting your own reality, creating a new fallibility to the situation. So I really enjoy getting to know those 1,000 souls. I can't say that I have a number that I've connected with, like, I've met 100 of them. No. But I can tell you that the seats are filling up inside my auditorium. The lights are coming on to other places, and that's me just rediscovering what's already there. And the ancestors that I have can give me advice. They can help me out because they've experienced a lot of the same things. So I look to that as a guiding point. Am I cutting this wrong again? Damn, Justin. Get on board, baby. So, like, my ability to communicate, to speak, which for the most part I can be really eloquent. That's not me. That's just me channeling a former version of myself. And so the way I look at life and this experience that we're having, I'm going to have to think about this for a second. Make sure that I can say this the way that I want to. Oh well. You know what? I think I just want to listen to music and sing now. My mind's kind of going wild, so. I see. It's perfect right there, and then I adjusted. Okay. So I need. Alright. Remember what I was going to say. So with our ancestors, even with ourselves, like through our life, the way that I interpret existence is God, I lost the thought again. Why is it leaving me so quickly? Because I just barely had it, and then it freaking slips my mind as I'm trying to talk. I have too many things I'm trying to do. Cutting wood. Throughout life, there are infinite possibilities of what can happen to you. Right? Like, every time there's a choice to be made. Like right now in this instance, I had so many choices. I've got to work a double tomorrow, over 16 hours. I start at 9:45 a.m. I won't get off until 3 in the morning. Right? And right now, I'm choosing to work on my ottoman. I'm choosing to stream. I'm choosing to talk about things. Every one of those choices, every action that I take creates the reality that I'm living in. However, there is, at each one of those points, options that I could take that aren't doing what I'm doing right now. Right? I could have taken my medication and gone to sleep early because I know I'm going to need it. I could have done this exact thing but without streaming. There's infinite possibilities. The one that I'm living is not necessarily the life that I should be living. It's just the one that I personally, my version of myself right now is interpreting. So at those points, there are divergence. A million, an infinity of different choices that can be made, which in my opinion is a deviation in a new path. And every time there's choices and it spreads out again, just like your ancestors, boo, 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 and it exponentially grows. But for me, when I'm living life, sometimes I'll have deja vu. Really strong deja vu, and there are occasions where I can actually recollect the time that I had the dream about what's happening in this moment. Deja vu. Some people have a very different interpretation of deja vu than what I do. My interpretation is that when I have those moments that I'm like, I've been here, I've dreamt about this, I've experienced this. When I have that kind of moment, a deja vu, to me, it's a reconvergence, right? Instead of there being fractals and changes and splits, different realities that I'm living, just not me, the other iterations are living, When I have deja vu, it feels like at that point, all of the me's, all of the versions of me lead up to the right choice. And if I'm in the right space, then that's when I have deja vu. All of those existing realities have come to a convergence in one point and created this universe that I exist in, this reality that I'm currently in. Deja vu for me is a road marker that I'm headed in the right direction. It feels very much like perhaps an alternate me from the future or whatever realized that that moment was important, and so it pounded into my mind that when this happens, it's a good thing, right? Like it's ingrained in me. And I also feel like deja vu in a lot of different ways is just us experiencing something similar to what our ancestors experienced at one point or another in their lives. So to me, deja vu is a connecting experience. But I have a friend, one of my most trusted friends, and she believes that deja vu is the opposite. She believes in her mind that when she experiences deja vu, that it's a warning. It's something telling her that she's on the wrong path, that she's experienced this before, right? Whatever's happening to create the deja vu. So for her, it's a warning, which perfect, right? Like if that's her interpretation of it, and if it's what actually helps her, then that is real. That is truth. The way that I interpret it, that it's a road marker that I'm heading in the right direction, that is truth. It's my reality that I created based upon my interpretation of my world around me. So the auditorium in those moments, at least for me, becomes more filled. Seats open up. I connect with the other ancestors, and I'm able to gather information. I'm able to connect. I'm able to understand and interpret situations that if I wasn't having that experience, I would never be able to interpret the situation. So I love deja vu. Deja vu makes me happy, makes me feel alive. Okay. Anyway, that's enough talking for me. I want to sing. Let's see if I can find some good singing songs. Oh, this is a good song, but I don't know the lyrics to it. I want to sing. Give me a good sing song. Marijuana, cigarettes, rapers. me a good song. Oh, this is funny. I think of The Office every time I hear this freaking song. Oh, this is a good one. Closing time. Into the world. Closing time. Every girl. Alcohol, so finish your whiskey or beer. Closing time. But you can't stay here. Want to take me home? I know who I want to take me home. Take me home. Closing time. Places you will be from. Closing time. Brother and sisters gone. To the exits, find a friend. From the beginning, know who I want to take me home. I know who I want to take me home. I know who I want to take me home. Take me home. Closing time. Oh, this is a good one. Let's grab some adhesive. Gorilla Glue. Okay, baby boy, it's gonna get a little stinky. Top of the highest high rise today. Put it close home. Rise me to the sky. I'm gonna watch the water float away. Don't let the world bring you down. Not everything that fucked up and cool. While you came and while you're alive. One before you go. Shoot at me. Don't let the world bring you down. Not everything is that fucked up and cool. Remember why you came and why you're alive. Experience the warmth before you go. This is not working out the way I was hoping it would. Bring you down. Not everyone here is that fucked up and cool. Remember why you came and why you're alive. Experience the warmth before you go. Before you go. December. Better than the last. Remember. So fast. One more day in Hollywood. Running out of battery. Yeah. Whole lot of oysters, but no pearl. I think I'm just gonna do one this time to start with. What do you think, Callan Rex? We'll do one screw and then we'll drill the other ones. That's probably the smartest way to do it. Na 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 na, yeah. A little slower, a little lower. Long December to believe will be better than the last. Remember, they pass. Now in the canyon, one more night in Hollywood. Na 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 na, yeah. Where you going, Bubba boy? Na 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 na. La 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 la, yeah. Ha ha ha. Na 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 na. Ooh, Blues Traveler. Once upon a midnight dream, I woke with something in my head. Memory of what she said. Tell me lies, humor me and tell me lies. Why you wanna give me a run around? Sure, if I were to speed things up, then all it does is slow me down. Many things. Oh, did this stop? Whoops. Nervous magician waiting in the ring. Sort expects too much for the movie rights, saying, hey babe, let's keep in touch. Hey baby, let's keep in touch. Oh, I gotta be less loud. I'm gonna wake up my upstairs neighbors. And they've got a baby. Tell what's yours is mine. Nope, don't want to do that, Justin, you ding dong. Always be fun, like coffee and I like tea. so be that way. Oh, why you wanna give me around? Sure, if I were to speed things up, what all it does is slow. Hold me down. You just realize this is dirty as shit. No wonder it's spraying weird. Whoa, stretch it out, little man. Stretch it out. Boom, boom. See the way she loves me, maybe you would understand why I feel this way about her love and what I must do. Could only see the way her eyes can be when she says she loves me. Boom, boom, boom. You got your eyes, you got your manipulation. You cut me down to size. What you don't think you know, but you won't. So to see when she loves me, then maybe you would understand why I feel this way about our love and what I must do. Needed some batteries because mine are about to die. Could only see her eyes can be when she says she loves me. You've been in deep trouble. A little jerk to keep what you love. You see me hard, but you won't. You can, if you could only about our love and what I must do. If you could only see the way her eyes can be when she says she loves me. But you don't, but you won't. What's gonna do? But you can cry where you can. Feel she loves me. Why I feel this way about our love and what I must do. You could only see how blue her eyes can be when she says. Damn it, did I spray the wrong side? I did, you dum-dum. I sprayed the wrong side, little boy. No dress, hair is always mine. She won't confess, she's beautiful. Smokes a pack a day, way that's me. But anyway, she doesn't care a thing about that. Hey, beautiful. We're compromising, love babies and surprises. Wear high heels when she exercises. Ain't that beautiful? Meet Virginia. When she wants to be the queen, then she thinks about her scene. Throws her head back as she screams. I don't really wanna be the queen. Wrestles alligators. My mama works on carburetors. Her brother is fine mediator to the president. Just is again on the phone, just like me, hates to be alone. Rip on the president in Virginia. Where she wants to be alive, and she thinks about her life. Throws her head back as she screams. Whoa, come on, baby. Oh, come on. Hold it better, Justin. Why is this one being so difficult? When the moment is not right, unusual. Your dance is tragic, but her intuition's magic. In the shape of a body, meet Virginia. Meet Virginia, yeah, 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 yeah. When she wants to be the she thinks about her scene. Thinks about her life. Really wanna be the queen. I don't really wanna be. If I do too much on that one, I'm gonna strip her out. Better not. There it is. Whoa. My face is numb. Here we go. Oh, come on, stay in there, baby. Overdrive. On my own, here we go. My face is numb. On my own, here we go. What was my distance again? 1 1/4, I think. Wait a sec, did I save that song? Because I love it. Yes, I did. Scratching on the couch, baby boy. Is it 2 1/4? 1 1/4. 2 1/4. Well, let's see where that's at first in this market. Day go by. Go by easier. Easier. Glycerin. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, did I use all of them? Shit. I hope I have more. Uh-oh. Looks like I'm gonna have to use a different one, huh? Alright, let's see if we can find them in the random bucket. Perfect. We need to find 2 more though, somewhere. this one, just in case we can't find another long one. Another long one with a star tip, that's the problem. Almost all of these have star bits to them. Okay, baby? Where you at, my love? You alright? Now, it's not going to sit even, but that's not the point, because I'm going to put adjustable feet on it so that I can make it perfect. What time is it? Oh, it's 11. I don't want to end doing this, but I guess I have to, because I gotta work a double tomorrow. I'll never let you go. I'll never let you go. Alright. As usual, I end this stream by letting each and every one of you know that all it takes is some patience, creativity, dedication to be able to take something considered useless, like old crappy wood, and make something beautiful out of it. Now, you may not think this is beautiful yet, but for me it's absolutely gorgeous. And it's all from reused materials except for this stuff. However, this stuff is kind of reused too, because I was going to use it to make cushions for my van, but I don't have my van anymore. Anyway, I just want you all to know that you can become anything that you want to be, as long as you're willing to put in the effort that's required. You're beautiful, you're fantastic, and I love you. And if no one else has told you today, I hope you believe it when I say it. So, thanks for joining me. Peace!